we're going to start making our clay snowman. So I finished my clay snowman planning sheet. I've drawn out what I want my snowman to look like. I have eyes, a nose, a mouth, an extra item, a hat up here at top, and then also a hole that I would be able to hang them from. So I have gathered my supplies. I have a rolling pin. I have a piece of clay. I have a circle to trace my snowman head shape out of. I have a cup of water for my slip. I have a scoring device. And then I also have another tool here to cut out the circle shape. Now if I was making a snowman that looked melted, on my planning sheet here I could cut around the shape of my melted snowman, and that would be what I would trace. But I have a circle, so I'll just use this lid. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wedge my clay. You'll need to wedge your clay about 15 times. To do that, you just push it down, and then I would stand it back up. Okay, and then I would push it back down, stand it back up. Wedging does two things. It aligns the platelets of the clay, so clay is made out of layers, and this aligns them and allows the clay to stretch better. And then it also removes any air bubbles that are in the clay so that it doesn't explode. You can wedge with two hands, like this, where you push it down and make kind of that ET head shape. Okay, so I think that's about 15 times. Now I'm going to just kind of take it and roll it into more of a ball by patting it. And then once I have a decent ball shape, it doesn't need to be perfect, I can put it down and I can roll it out. There's two different ways that you could flatten this. The first is you could just kind of press it down and then flip it and keep pressing it till it was flat. Please don't pound on it or bang on it. The other way is we could use a rolling pin. So I would roll it out a little bit, flip it over. It's important that you flip, otherwise it's going to stick to the table. And I don't want to make it so thin that it's going to be really fragile. Okay, that's pretty good. You can see how thick it is there. I'll put it down, make sure it's been flipped, and then I can go ahead and put my circle tracer on top. I'm going to use this tool here to gently cut around the circle. And then I'll be able to peel this extra clay up, take that off, and then I have my snowman head shape, and I would want to use something and put my name or initials on here. My initials are K, G, okay, and then your class code 3. Let's say you're Mrs. Fry's class, FR. E. And that's going to be the back. Now once I have this done, I could start making the different parts of my snowman head. So I'm going to go ahead and make the nose first. So I could take a piece of my clay that I rolled out, and I can just go ahead and wedge it in my hand by squeezing it because it's pretty small. And now I'm going to have to take this clay and mold it into a nose shape. So here, squeeze it about 15 times. And then to make a nose shape, I want to think about, I want it to be kind of a triangle, or I want it to be round like a carrot would be, so I could roll it between my hands or roll it against the table. So now I have a coil or a round piece of clay. I could pinch one end off and down, smooth out that crack that kind of is on there. Make a carrot point. And I could see how long I want it. Maybe I want it about that big. Okay, so if this was my carrot nose that I was going to put on there, I still have some grooves I would need to smooth out, but I could go ahead and attach this, and to attach two pieces of clay, we slip and score. So I'm going to figure out where I want it, and then on this both pieces I make just kind of scratch marks. And then I use a little bit of my water. And then I can push this down where I want it to be. And then I can go and smooth out the marks that I still see that are on the piece and any lumps and bumps that I don't want there. And then I would continue to build where I want my eyes, or you could carve into the clay for some parts. I would like to see one thing at least built off to show that you can mold or sculpt clay. And then also remember to make the hole where you're going to hang it up by just using your tool to go through the clay.